the edge. Gonna try, he's got it, record time. Donnell Pumphrey smashes the record.
On the return, is Rashad Penny, and Penny finds a seam. Penny to the outside. Penny will go the distance.
First and goal. Fake to Penny. Open man. Wells. He leads. He gets the ball. And they say touchdown San Diego State.
Dingwell back to pass. He lofts it up there to the corner. Touchdown Adam Roberts. Scared money don't make no money. Rocky Long and the Aztecs will walk away with a big win in OT.
It kind of reminds me of that Matador song. That Matador.
Welcome back, Aztec Nation, to a new episode of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. You can find us all over your streaming platforms: Apple, iHeart, Spotify. Those are the big ones. But of course, if you want to watch us, you can always find us on YouTube, the YouTube channel, where we are the original home for San Diego State sports talk. I am your host, Mateo. You can find me at Mateo San Diego on X, and of course us at Sons of Monty on X and Twitter. All that stuff. It's kind of
Still call it Twitter, bro.
call it Twitter. You hear that lovely voice? It is, well, he's protecting our borders from sea to shining sea. He's got the beard rocking, and he is excited for this Aztec team. It is K5 James. What's up, James?
What's up, man? I'm stoked to be talking about the topic of conversation today. So getting more amped up for the season coming up.
Well, everybody's excited because the depth chart, the Aztecs football depth chart came out. I had several people sending that to my phone, blowing my phone up, like, check this out. Oh, check it out. The depth chart's out. That's when you start knowing that you're really, really close. The days of summer are upon us. We're waiting for that heat to come, and it's here. And boy, it's going to start getting hotter and hotter. The Aztecs are going to get faster and faster. We're going to talk about the depth chart, both sides of the ball, and the specialists. And of course, well, a little bit of craziness going on. Mountain West Media Days are happening this week, James. That's where the coaches and two select players make their way to Vegas, Las Vegas, which is like the epicenter of college football, seems like now, man. Pac-12 kind of invaded that territory after the Mountain West originally had our footprint there. And now the Big 12 is down there doing their media days. Everybody's going down to Vegas this week, man. I wish I was there.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing that, dude. Like going there for media days since we're, big time now.
Yeah,
but we'll have to start going
big time in our own eyes. Big time in our own eyes, man. They'll never allow us. They'll never let the Suns down to the media days.
The media days, man. Is normally I look forward to it every year because it's a good chance to get the vibe of the players and kind of see how they're feeling, the way they interact with the media, and we kind of had the same old thing with Rocky and Brady. So I'm excited really this year for Sean Lewis to be there and see the reaction from the rest of the media, from the rest of the conference, see how they react to him.
Yeah, a lot of that excitement that we've been feeling in San Diego is now going to really translate there at the media days. I enjoyed Rocky's his little sound bites he used to have out there, man. He always had a classic sound bite every media day. So I'm interested to hear what Coach Lewis has. He's very professional though, man. He's just gonna hype you up.
He's got that energy, man, that he's like nonstop, dude. I don't know where that dude gets all that energy from.
Okay, all right, James, it's time to get into the depth chart because everybody's excited to see all the names, the new names. And I tell you, man, the more I look at this Aztecs team for 2024, the more excited I get, man. I mean, you look at who is on the roster, you start sizing them up. You start seeing where they came from. Of course, there's a lot of transfers that came in, but there's a lot of guys that have stuck it out that Coach Lewis, brought over from the previous years. And I can't help but get excited, man. Let's talk about, of course, the obvious, the offensive side of the ball first. The new Aztec fast offense. It's what is going to drive this change in this football culture. I mean, last year, Brady Hoke's final year wasn't planned to be his final year, and things abruptly came to a halt. The Aztecs' first losing season in quite a while, and it was just too much. It was too much, combined with the new stadium not really reaching its potential and capacity game in, game out, and the change had to be made. Enter in Coach Lewis. As we look at this offense and we see exactly what we're dealing with here. Now, you're an offensive line guy, and what gets me most excited, James, is when I look at this offensive line. I know we talked about it. You mentioned about it in some of our text messages, but I'm a novice. So you break it down for me a little bit, because just when I look at the tackles, the guards, the centers, I'm looking at senior, junior, senior. And I don't care who you are, that means a lot. They're big boys, but that upperclassman, that experience, this is not going to be something where they come in, with surprised eyes and can't focus. What do you got to say about this offensive line, man?
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. And it's not only that they're seniors and juniors, but they're seniors and juniors with like pretty significant playing time. The only one, probably the least experienced guy is Joe Borjan, but he started, I think, like 5 games at Arizona last year for a good Arizona team.
Yeah.
So like pretty much everybody on the starting lineup has been a significant starter at the FBS level. And Braden Bryant was like the starting, I think he was a guard for a really good FCS school. So everybody is very experienced. Ross Masuli is one of our favorite guys. He's a real tough guy. Like, he brings that attitude. And I like him better at guard than center, because then he can just get after it and not have to worry about making the calls and stuff like that. He can just do his thing and be the nasty guy we like to see. And Miles Morales showed some things. He was kind of playing out of position last year at tackle. I think he's a much better fit at guard. So going left to right with Borjan, who started for a Pac-12 team last year, Morale, Bryant, and Bryant's been getting rave reviews from Sean Lewis and a couple of the interviews I listened to, as far as like knowing all the right calls, and that's a huge thing for an offensive line for whoever. Sometimes teams will have a guard, sometimes they'll have the center, but it seems like he's having the center do it. And so when they make the calls for the offensive line, that's like the first step in a play being successful, and probably the most important step. And then Masuli at right guard, what you have in him. And then Nate Williams, he's I think he started like 26 games or something like that in the MAC. And yes, it was for Akron and the MAC, but it's still, he's a guy who got significant playing time at the FBS level as a starter at tackle. So at the very least, he's going to be serviceable, but I think he's better than that. I watched a little bit of film on him, and he looks pretty solid. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. They're going to take a little time to gel, obviously, because they're not used to playing with each other. But I'm super excited for what the coaches have to work with. And I think this fall is going to be very interesting to see how they gel, and if they can all stay healthy and work through the whole fall together. I think that'll be huge for the season.
Big Nate Williams, standing at 6'6", 300 pounds, senior from Utica, Ohio, played for Akron. His bio says he played in 40 games with 27 starts on the offensive line. So definitely experienced guy there at that right tackle spot. Yeah, man, your excitement for this offensive line in our text chat got me, okay, let me take a closer look. And I'm right there with you, man. Ross Masuli, we all know the punishment that he can dish out there, but just having these experienced guys, I'm feeling a lot more confident than I was, at the start of this whole process, bringing in transfers and seeing all the guys that left and graduated and all that good stuff. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and the other thing also is the size, which it doesn't matter as much in the previous offense because you need guys to be able to pull and stuff. And they're going to pull in this offense, but it's kind of different. There's going to be like wider splits in this offense when these guys line up. So I like that they have a lot of size, but none of them are like just fat guys. You know, they're size, but they're big guys. And that's really good for this style of offense where you're going to have wider splits. They got to cover more ground. So the size is a really noticeable thing. So yeah, dude, it's very exciting on paper. I'm super excited. So I hope it matches my expectations.
Totally. And then, this is the beginning of summer, right? So this depth chart may fluctuate. Who knows what's going to happen when we get towards opening game, but it's reassuring to know you got big Christian Jones there at that left tackle spot, just one spot right behind Joe Bourgeon. And then of course, Dean Abdullah, the senior, also. So, I mean, capable guys in that second spot on the depth chart as well on the offensive line, and plenty other young guys that are going to start learning this offense. James, one of the most utilized, I guess, positions in this Aztec fast offense that I think people are starting to learn is the tight end spot. Jude Wolf here at the top, number 18, new tight end, came in from USC, right?
Yeah, USC.
6'5", 240 senior. But then we got finally got that word that Michael Harrison, his transfer was complete coming over from Colorado. That was a name that we put out there back towards the beginning of the year when the word came through, but then it was like, okay, well, it's not officially, hasn't carried over. Well, it became official this past couple weeks here. And to me, that's huge. These are two bona fide guys, you know what I mean? Experienced guys coming in. Michael Harrison did put up some nice performances last year with Colorado. So coach knows him well. And then Jude Wolf, of course. And that's not even mentioning Logan Tanner, who sitting there. I feel very excited. We've all been excited to see him get out there and catch some balls,
Yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing about Wolf and Harrison as well is, Wolf is more of like the traditional tight end. He's probably starting because of his better blocking ability. I'm not saying he's not a good receiver as well, but he's more of a traditional tight end who can be on the line, whereas Harrison is more of an offline tight end who's more of a receiving threat. So I think it's nice having that to be able to mix it up and do different things on the offensive side of the ball. Especially with that tight end position, and especially when they run an H-back. Harrison's not really an H-back, but Wolf could do that H-back role as well. So it's going to be fun to see what they do with those guys because Harrison's a proven product already. He's shown what he can do, and Jude Wolf, he hasn't had the chance really to show, but he's got a lot of talent. So it'll be nice to see what they can come up with. And contrary to a lot of people that talk about Coach Lewis, when they talk about his offense, they talk about the tight end isn't very productive, but you saw that with Harrison last year. He utilized the tight end when he needs to or when it calls for it.
Gonna have to bug my buddy Eddie O, who's a big USC honk. I gotta bug him for some insight on Jude, man. I gotta get some. He knows all the ins and outs of those dirty Trojans. But he's an Aztec now. So I'm
yeah.
Reading here, it says his father, Jude Wolf, his father played football at Western Michigan back in the late 70s. And his brother Jacob was a tight end at Stony Brook. So, it's a football family.
Oh, yeah.
Blood.
He's another guy who's been getting a lot of good. I kind of following the Aztecs on Twitter. I think there was like 3 or 4 times that I can remember he got like the player of the week or whatever, as far as like their workouts and stuff like that. So that's like a good sign. He's a hard worker, it seems like. So, you always want to root for guys like that work hard in the off season, and hopefully it pays off for them in the season.
All right, James, moving on. Let's talk about the wideouts now that we are all along the line of scrimmage. So I was pleasantly surprised. I don't think that's a big stretch to say, to see Mekhi Shaw's name there, number 83 as a wide receiver. Somebody mentioned to me that they were surprised to see that, but Mekhi, man, he's such an impressive young man. I mean, he was on the NIL team last year, hoping to run that back again with him this year. He's an impressive young man. I mean, you look 5'10", 190. He talked to us about his walk-on with the team, with the program a couple of years ago. everything he's gotten, he's earned. And I could see his leadership really, really shining through. He was a tough receiver for us last year, through injuries, whatever. He was coming down with catches and actually had, all things considered last year in our offense. The dude, he put up, and he put up some solid performances, despite everything that was going on offensively.
Dude, yeah, he's such a reliable receiver, man, and I think it's underrated, his athleticism as well. He's not, he's not the super athlete that some of these other guys on the squad are, but he does everything right and he makes every catch. He very rarely drops the ball. So I think in this offense he could flourish, man. He might put up like crazy reception numbers this year, just due to the nature of the offense. I'm super stoked to see him in the starting lineup, which he should be, in my opinion. So that's kind of great. But like you said, dude, I was surprised by the athleticism, and a lot of it is transfers, but also, keeping a guy like Balin Brooks, who we're all super excited about. But like Lewis Brown, man, that's a big ad that not really many people have talked about. And Jashawn Polk, obviously we've talked about him, how he's like a mega kick returner. So yeah, it's exciting to see like the athleticism. It seems like we have some guys in the team now that can take the top off of defenses. And from watching all the film of Coach Lewis's offense, he loves to do that several times a game, man. Like every other drive, almost, it seems like he's taking a shot downfield, and I think that's going to be exciting for us to watch.
When you look at the running backs, this is the only position where I'm seeing an or. And that's with Keenan Christon, obviously number 23, the burner, the local standout, and Marquez Cooper, the transfer who came in for Coach Lewis, played under him. Marquez Cooper played with him at Kent State, went to Ball State, and now is playing for Coach Lewis again here with the Aztecs. So that's the only position where we're seeing an or. And obviously, when you got Keenan Christon's speed, you got Marquez Cooper's knowledge of the offense, his abilities, that experience, and that's a good 1-2 punch, that's for sure.
Dude, well, that's not the only position with an or, but there's an embarrassment of riches at running back, man. I mean, that's kind of been the thing here at San Diego State always. But this year, it's like an embarrassment of riches for guys that have been productive at the FBS level already. It's not like they have potential and, oh, yeah, we know the guy behind him is good, but he hasn't got to show it. Marquez Cooper, I think he's the leading rusher in all of college football right now. Like the current player in all of college football with the most rushing yards. Mm. You have that guy. You have Keenan Christon, who we all know has like a wealth of talent. He's a big time burner. And I think he's going to really finally get to shine in this offense. And then a guy like Jalen Armstead, who's proven he could be the guy, and he's definitely going to be a great change of pace to bring that size. And Cam Davis, Lucky Sutton, it's ridiculous the amount of talent we have at running back. And the good thing about this offense is whoever becomes the 1A guy, he's going to have a great season, have a lot of yards. But Coach Lewis has shown that he likes to run the second guy quite a bit. He had kind of a thicker back that was Cooper's backup when he was at Kent State, who got a lot of carries, especially like in the second half. They would run that thicker guy at people, and he had like 600 or 700 yards as the backup. So it's very exciting. All these guys are going to get carries, I'd wager. So it's an exciting time to be a running back in that running back room right now, because I think they're all going to have chances and opportunities to show what they can do out in the field.
Somebody posted on Twitter the other day, Donnell Pumphrey's highlights talking about his, 2,000 yards season. And then I think it was Aztecs killing him, followed it up with, and Rashad Penny, his backup, got 1,000 yards. Now, we may not see that, right? How rare does that happen?
Yeah.
This is going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball in this offense.
Oh, yeah. Maybe not that, but it's going to be like whoever's 1A is going to get like 1,500 yards, and 1B is going to get like 700 or 800 yards. It's going to be close.
Yeah. Oh, man. From your lips to God's ears, to the football God's ears.
And yeah, that's ideally if things click and everybody gets the offense and they get going. I think at the optimum of what he likes to do. I think he all of his years at Kent State, I think, except for obviously the first one, they were pretty balanced. It was pretty much 50-50. So they may throw for a lot of yards, but they're going to run for a lot of yards as well. So it's very exciting. You know, we're still guys like me that like to run the ball. We're still going to get a little satisfaction. Plus, it's going to be a little more option based in the run game. So I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to see that.
All right. Well, let's curb that enthusiasm just a little bit. Now we come to the bump in the road, right? And this is what it's what's plagued Aztecs football for several years now. And that's the quarterback spot. Now, this is it's the most important position, right, in football. Can we say that? I mean, do we have to say that? I don't know. In modern day football, the way things are going, it is, right? And it's like I said, it's what's been the Achilles heel for this program moving forward. You just have not had that position being locked down and being played at an exceptional level that could, direct the team. Now, I'm not saying everything is going to rely on it, but it's a huge component of this offense. AJ Duffy, the transfer in from Florida State, the Southern California kid, he's listed as one, or true freshman, Danny O'Neal, who was coming over. Now, we had this little brief convo. I think I don't remember if it was a chat or in person, and I was like, I don't see Danny O'Neal, true freshman, getting that. And you're like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Came over here for a reason. You follow Coach Lewis, switched his, commitment or whatever to come here where Coach Lewis is at. So you kind of had to correct me a little bit. Like, okay, look, he's a true freshman, but that is, whoever's best is going to play. So they're at also an or. AJ Duffy, Danny O'Neal. We're going to find out. We're going to find out real soon.
Yeah. I was talking to my friend earlier today. I think, to be honest, that they're probably both going to play. I think whoever he names a starter is going to be the starter and get a bulk of the playing time. But I think whoever's the backup is going to get to play a lot as well. And that's just because this offense is so option based. You don't want that's a lot of wear and tear you're going to put on your quarterback's body from running the ball as well. The quarterback's going to put up some good numbers running the ball in this offense if everything goes correctly. So I think they're both going to get playing time. I think whoever wins the starting job, they're going to be the guy. But I think the backup is going to get quite a bit of playing time as well.
Interesting. Okay. So where do the returners Kyle Crum and Javance Tupuola Johnson fit into this? I mean, it's a difficult position to be in, coming in from the previous regime, new coach, new system, new everything. Of course, they're smart, capable, physical guys, big dudes. So I don't know. It's an interesting spot. Everything I see, on social and everything seems to be they're completely bought in. To see them here grinding, working out. It's a very unified team. But I think obviously all the expectation is for AJ and Danny.
Yeah, like I said, part of this offense is the quarterback running the ball a lot, which could lead to more injuries. So they've got to be ready, man. They could move from 3 to 2 or 4 to 3 pretty quickly. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Javance Johnson. I'm not even going to try to say his first last name. I've been a big fan of him. He's got a lot of potential, and to me, he seems like the perfect kind of guy to run this offense. So you never know, man. We'll see what happens. They're both younger guys, so wild things can happen. Props to them for sticking it out and realizing that there's potential for them in this offense. So hopefully they continue to buy in and be good teammates, and maybe they'll get a chance to shine. We'll see what happens.
And shout out to Kyle Crum, man. He's staying busy. They are keeping him busy. Seems just like a super, super cool dude. Really appreciate what I've seen from him working behind the scenes or in front of the camera. All that good stuff has been really cool to see. And you know what, man? That throw he had in Utah, that touchdown pass he had in Utah, can't forget about that. That was a beauty. So there are glimpses. We'll see if he gets an opportunity. You just never know.
He kind of reminds me of the quarterback Lewis had in his last year at Kent State. I'm failing to remember his name right now, but they kind of similar builds, similar kind of skill set. So, I can see why he's third, because he's kind of got something that Coach Lewis has already recruited before. So, yeah, not to discount him or anything, but yeah, I'm super excited. I think the quarterback position is in better shape than it's been in a long time, but that's just on paper. We'll see what happens when the rubber meets the road.
Well, man, I'm very excited for the offense, the Aztecs fast offense. Let's move a little forward with the next section on the depth chart, and that is the specialists. Now, the specialists, okay, we've had our opportunity to have the punt god, and then Jack Browning, and now he's on the Bills, right? Go figure. Both guys got picked up by the Bills once they left San Diego State. And, of course, we know Matt Araiza is on the Chiefs right now, battling for that spot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to announce that Smooth Sack Summer is officially here. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you're groomed up from pubes to bun. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped, this could be your smoothest summer yet. Is the ultimate bundle to keep your boys cool while you look hot. Join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. Get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com when you use this promo code SONS20. Inside the package, you'll find the star of the show, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. And Manscaped even threw in 2 extra gifts to the Performance Package 5.0, Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is their 5th generation trimmer, so they've got it dialed down to a science. And right now, with that promo code SONS20, make sure you save that 20% off, plus the free shipping and the 2 extra gifts. You can't beat it for summer to stay cool and look hot. Remember that. Manscaped.com. Take advantage of it today. All right, James, speaking about the Aztecs specialists, right now we want to bring in, making his Sons of Montezuma podcast debut. He's looking to make a splash as the full-time kicker. His hometown is Oakland. He is number 46, Gabriel Plascencia. Welcome to the show. What's going on, Gabriel? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Just doing some recovery right now. We had a tough day today, getting ready to go out to the field tomorrow and go kick some balls.
Yeah, they got you guys running like crazy right now, or what?
Oh, yeah. Today's that Toughness Tuesday. Go out there and just, test us for sure. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Like Toughest Tuesday? Is that every day, like don't be weakest Wednesday or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, every day has its own little thing, but Tuesdays they like to push us to our limits for sure. And today was first day back from break, so legs are feeling a little bit different.
For you young guys out there running around, man, how has this, before we get into everything about your journey and how you got here to San Diego State, because looking at your bio, right, anybody could read it, but I want to hear it from you, from yourself. So how is this summer conditioning so far, though, compared to the last year being a part of the Aztec program?
It's been different for sure. Last year it was lifting 3 times a day, running only 2 times a day. This year we're running every single day, lifting every single day. Me personally, I feel like I've made great strides in the weight room. I feel like my numbers are up. I'm feeling a little bit more athletic. It's been different for sure. The guys are a lot closer right now, I feel like, than we were last summer with all the new guys. It's been good. It's especially with like the beach workout we had before break. That was a real bonding moment with guys that you may have not talked to yet that are like new to the team or anything, but you know, you got paired with them and they became really close after that beach workout.
Did you guys, was it like the old SEAL one, or was it just one that the coaches came up with on the beach?
Kind of what they came up with on the beach.
Okay.
It kind of felt like a little SEAL workout, but you know, it was good. It was just, it felt like everyone was super excited. We got to the beach and then we started warming up and everyone got quiet really quick. So it was definitely fun. It was a fun experience for sure.
It's a big difference running in that sand, man. That makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah. Halfway through the warm up and everyone's like, "Oh, this is not so fun anymore."
Oh man. Well, tell me, Gabriel, what do you like to be called, man? Is it Gabriel? Is it Gabe? Is it G? What do you like to be called? How do you like to be called?
Usually everybody on the team, everybody calls me Gabe. Usually the people that call me Gabriel or Gabriel are my parents and like family and all that. I mean, I tell everybody whatever is fine with me. I've been called everything. Like I'll turn my head for both answers for sure.
Gabriel, man, that's a good name. It's my middle name. And it's my father's name, so Gabriel. Everybody call him all his side of the family. They call him Gabi.
Okay. I used to get that on my soccer team too. On my soccer team, they used to call me that.
All right, man. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. I'm seeing Oakland, California, Bay Area.
So I coming out of high school, I had no Division I offers. I actually didn't get any until my summer going into my freshman year of college. But by that point, I was already, you know, committed to College of San Mateo. Actually, one of them is Oregon State. So whenever we play them, I have a little sentiment to play against them. But, yeah, I mean, I played a season there. Was lucky enough to get an opportunity to go to Cal or Mississippi State. And at that time in my life, I was ready to kind of leave the Bay Area, spend some time away, went to Mississippi State. It was actually Coach Leach was the lead recruiter for me. He had called me a bunch. He had good connections with College of San Mateo when he was at Washington State. And, you know, he was ready to bring some CSM Bulldogs down there. And I got down there, was there for a month and a half or so, decided it wasn't the right situation for me. When I went there, you know, they told me that I would be competing for a job. And when I got there, that wasn't really the case. And coming in as a walk-on, that's obviously hard, you know, hard to hear, especially playing out of state tuition and all that. Definitely put a dent like in that whole situation. So, you know, I talked to my family and we were like, it's best for me to come home, play another season at CSM, you know, figure out my opportunities after that. I actually knew kind of a bit about San Diego State because of that. Coach Deacon was recruiting me throughout my first year at CSM, and he didn't have an answer on when Matt was leaving, with like how they're going to handle that situation with like a roster spot or not. And so that's why I ended up going to Mississippi State. But when I came back, he was, ever since that first day, I've been calling my phone. And after that, I knew San Diego State was definitely the spot immediately when I came back.
That is true because, you know, Matt Ariza, he left early. Early. It's like, man, that's hard to believe, man. Jeez. I mean, 2 years of the kicking and punting duties, and he was on the biggest stage there is in college football. And then, of course, Jack Browning steps right in, handles those duties, and there you are now. So,
yeah,
how does that feel to be, you know, a part of that special teams unit, those specialists? Mm-hmm. Of course, Coach Deacon, man, he was very, very well respected from all Aztec Nation and appreciated the job that he did. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be a little different now, though. But now you're coming up from behind those two guys. Now it's your turn.
Oh, yeah. Now it's just the time for me to, you know, make my own impact on the game. Both of those guys are tremendous. I mean, there's a reason why they're in the NFL right now. You know, it's just kind of not trying to worry about what they did and just kind of do what I do. You know, we're all like different in our own ways. Me a little bit more than them, you know, since I don't really punt like they do. But, you know, just trying to make my own mark and, you know, do something that they couldn't. Hopefully bring home a Lou Groza award, rub a little straight to Jack on the side, give him a little text or two. But yeah, man, I'm just excited for this season more than ever, taking over the full-time role. It's going to be special for sure.
Yeah, they kind of made their mark a little bit more on the punting side.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hopefully you're going to get the chance to make your mark more on the place kicking side.
Yeah.
New offense, man.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm most excited for is Coach Barden was telling me that they average at least like 24 field goals a season. So that's going to be good for me for sure. Get some field goal attempts out there.
Oh yeah.
the pizza's ready. The pizza knives. So tell us a little bit about what you bring, though, since you're going to be focusing more on the kicking duties. I mean, is there any specific, style? I mean, you say you had a soccer background. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I grew up my entire life playing soccer. Two of my brothers played Division I ball. Actually, one down here at USD. My dad played professional in Mexico with Pumas. Played with a Mexican great, Hugo Sanchez. Tells me a bunch of stories about him. Played pretty much all my entire life. I was actually playing football and soccer in high school during the same season, and that was very difficult for sure. From football practice to soccer practice. But yeah, I mean, my style. I mean, I'm a lefty, similar to Matt. There's not very many lefties out there in college football right now, and it looks a little different. I know on the EA college game, people are going to hate kicking with me because that left meter is going to be on the different side. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a little bigger, over 200 pound. Jack and Matt were a little lighter than me, so I kind of bring that little size. Like I like to say that I go out there and want to just like run over guys on kickoff or like just go out there and like I'm a very big trash talker. It was maybe because I grew up in Oakland or something, but growing up with older siblings. But if someone says something to any of my teammates, I'm in there yapping with them. Like I'm not just a normal specialist for sure.
Yeah, kind of jumping on that. Everybody, Matt was pretty well regarded for his tackling. You feel like you're going to be that kind of guy? You're going to be trying to get in on tackles and stuff on kickoff?
Yeah, that's what I try to do. If it's not a touchback, like I feel like I let my team down, so I got to go down there and kind of make up for it and get an ESPN highlight reel out of knocking someone off their feet. So,
oh man,
bring some force behind me.
Now we had a chance to meet your father actually at the I believe it was the spring showcase. I think it was the Aztec Fest spring showcase. Did he bring you a little bit of that attitude? Is that where you get it from his soccer days? Is this trash talking in Espanol or in English?
Everything. He was he's known in the Bay Area with all the soccer leagues for his verbiage. He was a very big trash talker. My mom says I get it from him, but yeah, he talks a lot. He loves like engaging with people and then just talking to people on the side. But when it comes to like in game and sport, oh man, you will not find a bigger trash talker than my dad.
Did you ever get to watch him play when you were younger, or was he already past that stage?
He was already kind of past that stage. I'm actually the youngest in my family, and the age gap is pretty crazy. My sister, she's the oldest. She's 20 years older than me.
Oh wow!
So I was very a surprise for them.
Yeah.
So, I didn't get to see him like in his prime days or anything like my other siblings did, but I did get to see him play a little bit when he was a little older, and he's still like, even though he couldn't run or like do as much as he could, like he was still talking it up for sure.
I'm the youngest too in my family. It has its advantages.
Oh yeah. Definitely like being the baby, man. My siblings always are like, you grew up with completely different parents than we did.
Man, I'm on here with a couple babies, man. I'm the oldest. So. You damn spoiled kids.
But by that point, your pops is old, so you're not really gonna get the harsh treatment, but you know, he's gonna give you that look or that tone in the voice, and you're like, okay, all right, I get it. I'll be quiet.
I mean, I always tell people I grew up with six parents because
man.
all my siblings were all already in college or already having their own life. And actually, my middle brother, he was my soccer coach from when I was 8 years old to my senior year in high school. So my dad, like everybody was in my ear 24/7. You know, if my dad wasn't as harsh on me, my brother definitely was. And you know, it was growing up with six parents. That's how I always say it.
Okay, so just some lighthearted questions before we get on with more football stuff. So, soccer, football. Are there any particular? What's your favorite football movie, maybe of all time, growing up, or you know, serious fun, whatever?
Football movie, probably The Longest Yard. That movie, like, for some reason was just always on at my house. Like, it was just like one of those movies that like no one was really watching, like no one really put it on. It was just on. And so like you just kind of all sat there and watched it.
Classic.
Yeah. I love that movie and The Blind Side. The Blind Side is definitely up there for me. Yeah, it's just an inspirational movie, to be fair. It's super inspirational. You know, you just got to love stories like that. Like, it's awesome.
Man, but what about the weird twist and turn it took this past year? Like, kind of ruined my my experience watching that movie. I mean, just to see they're kind of bickering and inner turmoil, man. Like, that was not what I was expecting to come out years later. It's kind of weird, man. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I like to just like keep it in my own world, just like trying to think about it how it was before. Yeah, I mean, Hollywood is crazy with how they do movies. So
you just gotta treat it like a movie, man. It's it's even if it was based on a true story, it's never really the true story. So just treat it like the movie and take it for what it is the way I look at it.
Yeah, that's completely true. Yeah.
Well, my all-time is The Waterboy. All-time favorite Waterboy. Nothing you guys could say to change my mind.
Man,
I love that scene. I love the scene when the kicker, he's like kicking off. He's like, you're going to do an onside kick, and he's lining up. Okay, which one am I going to kick to? Oh, there's the one. There's the one.
Yeah, that one. That that's awesome. That one's good.
You got to pull out a ritual. You got to pull out a ritual like that when you do an onside kick. Like, you know.
That's what I was trying to do against Boise.
So tell me about, getting your first action last year. You got to get in some run. Do you remember your first game getting in there and actually you said Oregon State, right?
Oregon State, yeah. That one was crazy for me. I always tell people, like, going out on that field is the best feeling you could ever feel in the world. Like, it's truly, and then as a kicker, like, all this, like, everyone's focused strictly on you, and it's just like that, like, all that pressure. It was good because I actually, like I told you guys earlier, I almost went to Oregon State. So, and one of my best friends is actually the kicker there. He actually just transferred to Oregon. So like that game was very, like, sentimental for me, obviously being my first, Division I college football game. And it felt amazing. I mean, going out there for kickoff, all the guys, like, you're giving them the rundown and they're all looking at you like ready to go. And you just go down there. And at that point, you just kind of shut off all the noise. Like, everything just becomes like a blur, and it's just you and the football.
Now, we were there that game up in Oregon State. We made the road trip. We got to see it all. So we were way at the top, though, so it was kind of fun.
We were in the visitor section they gave us, man, way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful stadium, though. I like the renovations they did for sure.
So is that game against Cal going to be a little special for you as well in the Bay Area, back over there in Berkeley?
Oh, yeah. That school was, growing up, was my dream school. Obviously, being 10 minutes from my house made it a little bit more sentimental for me for this coming game. I'm already asking teammates for tickets. I'm trying to get at least 60 or 70 because I got a big family ready to show out for that game. Yeah, I mean they recruited me. One of their coaches, he's an alumni of my high school. Is the receivers coach at Cal who was recruiting me. And they kind of pull some shady stuff here and there, and so I definitely, that game is definitely circled on my calendar because I really need to go back there and just, score a game winner on them for sure.
Bring the boom. Bring the boom.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, tell the Placencia family we're gonna be out there. I know I'm gonna be out there. I don't know about James. I gotta twist his arm to get out there.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make that trip again this year.
I'm definitely gonna be there.
quick 7-hour drive,
It's an easy flight.
It is, yeah. Just did that flight this Sunday. It wasn't too bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, what about when you're talking about the environment, right? That's going to be a big time environment as well. Early in the season, out there, September, what used to be a Pac-12 school, now ACC or whatever they are. What do you like to hear? I know it's all white noise, right? You kind of lose track of the sound when you're out there on the field. It's just you and the field and everything going on there. What do you like to hear on a kickoff? Because I don't think San Diego State, we have like some teams when you're getting ready for that opening kickoff, you hear the boom, everybody yells out boom or something of that nature. You ever think about that, man? Is there any kind of ritual you think the Aztecs should be adopting on those kickoffs?
I don't know what exactly it's called, but like that like kind of that during kickoff, like especially opening kickoff, that's probably like all the guys are like all jacked up, like pumped up, ready for the game, and just having some type of song, some song that like everybody knows, like a college football, like just like one of those type of songs, and having one of those would be awesome. Like just having that type of noise out there, all the guys in the huddle, like jumping up and down, like dancing to the song, like that type of energy is it's crazy. And that's something that, hopefully we could get to San Diego State, hopefully talk to Coach Lou about that, see what we could do. But yeah, having something like that would be awesome. Like the kind of that Penn State chant thing that they have.
Kraftwerk or something like that. I forgot the name of that group that does it.
Yeah, that song is, I just think college football when I hear that.
Got to build that tradition, develop those traditions, It's Snapdragon. Got to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, man. Well, what's going to make this season a successful season for you, Gabriel? What in your mind is going to meet that mark?
Not too really sure if I have. I mean, obviously throughout a season, going into a season, my sole goal is 100%, no matter what. And I usually go out there every kick. I think in my head, just go 1 for 1, 100%. Like even if I missed before or made before, like it's just 1 for 1, me and this kick. Obviously, our goal this season is to be perfect. I mean, everyone expects us to be perfect, and that's what we expect of ourselves. And, it's great when you have Ryan Wittermeyer, long snapper, 4-year starter, Tyler Pustule, punter, holder, has been playing 5 years of college football. And when you have those guys around you, like you just have high expectations for yourself. And, with the pedigree that SDSU has with special teams and specialists, you could only reach for perfection. And that's what we need. That's what we want, and we can be, like Coach Barton says, we could be so good that everything else doesn't matter.
Now, kind of on that, what do you think right now, roughly your range is, as far as like, Coach can send you out there at this distance and he feels pretty good about it?
Yeah, I mean, I always tell them once we pass half line, you're in range. They might take that with a grain of salt, but my farthest in game in college at College of San Mateo was 51. In practice, I've hit from 68. So I mean, it's just obviously like with the wind at Snapdragon, it's weird. The wind is a very
weird stuff.
Early wind. So I mean, it kind of depends on those type of scenarios, if it's raining or if it's not. But I always tell the coaches, once we're past 50, like. You're in range, but usually they'll ask for like a yard marker, and it always depends. In like during pregame warm-ups, I'll usually like give them a line of where where I feel 90%, like there's a 90% chance I will make this kick.
Oh man, you guys are going to Wyoming this year. Have you ever had a chance to kick up there?
I haven't, but that's that I'm very excited for. I've had some other friends that have played there, and they said that in warm-ups they've done a one-step 55-yarder, and it felt like nothing. And so I'm just there. I'm rubbing my hands together, like getting ready for that game, because put me out there, and I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna text Jack. I'm gonna tell him I'm coming for that record. That's gonna be that game's gonna be fun. Playing in that elevation is a lot of high elevation games this year, which is nice for me for sure.
Playing in the Mountain West, you get all these altitudes. Absolutely smart decision coming to the Aztecs. You can play all these high altitude games, but you get to live at the beach, right?
Exactly.
Well, Gabriel, you're doing it right, man. We really appreciate your time, getting to know you a little bit. We'll have to do this again, man. Do you hablas español?
Sí.
Oh man, you got to get him on the Hijos podcast.
Yeah, man. I'm a no sabo, bro. I'm a no sabo. So.
I will say I could speak it, but I definitely understand a lot more. Like sometimes I'll start speaking and I'll like freeze a little bit because like I'm just speaking too fast and my head's not processing what I'm saying. But I could definitely I speak at home. I speak at home for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar, man. I understand it, but I don't speak it very well. So
that's that Oakland Spanish right there.
Yeah. Hey, every time me and my roommates go to Tacos El Gordo, they're always having me order for them.
Hey, so speaking of that place, what's your go-to order, man? Besides the al pastor, obviously.
The sopes and the mulas are the top tier right there. I'll either get that or I usually get tacos de cabeza.
Oh yeah,
tacos de lengua, tacos de tripa. I'm a very exotic guy when it comes to like the different like taco meats and all that. So everyone likes getting the al pastor, carne asada. I like to try all the other stuff. You
gotta get the buche, man. Have you ever had the buche?
I have.
Yeah,
my mom loves it. She loves that.
I don't want to taste no taco that could taste me back. That taco de lengua, bro. I don't know about that. I don't want that cow tongue.
It's a weird texture, but great flavor.
All good, man. All good. I used to not like menudo as a kid, but now I love it. In my old age, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Gabriel, man, we appreciate you joining the NIL team right now. By the time this drops, hopefully we'll be on our way to getting your merch out there. Your official NIL Sons of Montezuma team merchandise out there. We couldn't be more grateful to have you on the team, man. It was great meeting your father. Hopefully get to run into them in some more games this season.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, let's do this again. Let's get you with the E-host, bro. Let's get you with the E-host.
Yeah, man. I'd love to do it and get some Spanish representation on the team.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I'll let you know ahead of time so you prepare, you know what I mean?
Yeah, get ready for it. Yeah, man, but I just want to say appreciate you guys for what you guys do for the team. Like, it's big time. We really appreciate you guys for everything that you guys do.
Thank you, man. That's great to hear.
We appreciate everything you guys do, man. You guys, sacrifice 4 or 5 years of your lives to come here and I mean, you get a good education and all that, but it's still a sacrifice. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. It's all fun in sunny San Diego.
All right, you guys heard it. Let's get some wins. Let's get some perfection and maybe a trick play or two.
We're ready for it.
All right, Gabe. Thank you much. We'll talk soon, man.
Yep. Have a good one. Thank you, guys.
Take the time, Gabe.
All right.
All right, James, it's time to talk about the defense and what I like to call the Aztec warrior defense. You got to keep that warrior mentality in there. Even though things look very, very, very different, it's no longer Rockies, 3-3-5. Now it's a 4-2-5. 4 linemen. Now we've talked, it's not crazy different, but some of the terminology here that what you're looking at here on the screen, it is a little bit different. So what we got, 2 corners, you got a field edge, you got a nose defensive lineman, you got a 3, what is that, a 3 stance defensive lineman? Is that what it's called? 3 technique?
3 technique, yeah, exactly.
And then you got the rushing edge, right?
Yeah, the rushing edge is basically in the 3-3-5. He was the old Miles Burris, Cade McDonald. The bigger rushing linebacker. That's why I talk about how these defenses are different, but they're not tremendously different. They're not, it's not like going to a 3-4 or a 4-3 from the 3-3-5 or vice versa. It's a pretty similar defense. A lot of the same concepts, but there's a lot of different concepts as well, obviously, because it's different. I don't think it's going to be a huge adjustment for the guys. If anything, it might take a little bit of the thinking out of it for them and let them. We talked about with Cody Moon about it a couple weeks ago. They're kind of going to get to show their athleticism more and just let things go a little more. So yeah, I'm excited to see. I've been a big fan of Dominic Oliver since he came onto campus. And I'm excited to see him at that rush edge, and I can't wait to see what he can do this year at that rush edge.
Marlon Lewis, he was one of the first transfers I remember to make his way over here from Richmond, 6'3", 250 as a senior. He's got that experience as well. This is going to be, the defense. It may not be that different, but this is probably the group that most people have their eyebrows go up when they talk about this Aztecs team for this first year under Coach Lewis, right? Because you just don't know what to expect. You just don't know. Of course, we talked to Wyatt Drager, and there he is. They got him bulking up, playing that nose. And then, of course, Trey White, the young guy coming up right there behind Dominic. So, a lot of different linemen there that we've yet to really see in the old system. Now they're coming of age in this new system. I don't have much to say. I don't know. They're going to take a lot of snaps. That's kind of been the knock of the potential of this defense. But, hey, hopefully they get them right.
See, Matt, I kind of disagree on that. I think there's a lot of depth. A lot of these guys got a lot of playing time last year. Like Ryan Henderson got quite a bit of playing time last year. Wyatt played a lot last year. Keon Mitchell played a lot last year. So they didn't get a lot of starting time, but they got a lot of playing time, especially towards the end of the season. Trey White played quite a bit last year. I think he played at linebacker though. So yeah, dude, there's you've got on that front four, all the 2 deep pretty much got quite a bit of playing time. Oliver mainly came on in like passing situations, if I recall. But still, the only one who hasn't shown it at the FBS level is Marlon Lewis, but he was like a highly productive player at the FCS level. He got 9 sacks last year, I believe, for the Richmond Spiders. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's this defense. There may not be the drop off that everybody thinks could happen because they see juniors and sophomores and stuff, but they're guys that played quite a bit last year. Because I remember guys making tackle like Keon Mitchell making plays last year, and I was like, wait, who's this guy? I don't remember this guy being in the 2 deep. So yeah, dude, I'm a little more bullish on the defensive line than some of the prognosticators or other experts. But that's why you call me Sunshine James or whatever the hell you call me.
Oh boy, only Dan would reach that low and call you Sunshine James. Okay. Now, this was, I think, to most Aztecs fans, maybe a head turner or a eyebrow raiser. And I'm talking about the 2 linebacker spots, because we are seeing freshmen, and then Tano Lutuli is what I heard through the grapevine was really, really, really making his mark. And boy, he's a beast, man. He looks like a beast. Now, he's a transfer, local kid, came in from the Army. And Owen Chambliss, the freshman, he transferred in from Utah, but he's also a Southern California kid as well. But at that freshman, boy, 6'3", 230. So seeing those two guys there, that might have been a surprise to some. But not something that I really put out there, but definitely wasn't a surprise for me. But it is interesting to see. Definitely is interesting to see.
Yeah, Chambliss, though, he's not a normal freshman. He played quite a bit for Utah last year. So it's not like some guy who redshirted all year and didn't play, and we don't know what we're going to get. He's already proven that he can play at the Power 5 level. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited. He's a freaky athlete. And when you can rotate a guy like Cody Moon off the bench, man, that is, again, the depth. I see the depth at linebacker as well. Tano Latuli, he played quite a bit for, I forgot which service academy. I always get him mixed up. Army, right? Yeah, Army. So he's going to be hard nosed. All those, let's see, they're cadets, right? The armies of the cadets. I get them backwards.
Black Knights.
Yeah. Those guys. Knights. Those guys put in more work than probably anybody in college football. And for him to be a productive guy there and to come here where he can just focus on football and school, I'm sure he's stoked for that. So, yeah, dude, I think there's a lot of potential here in the linebacking core as well. You got like Brady Anderson there who's played quite a bit and who's a stud. So, and DJ Herman. And a guy like Kyle Moretti transferred over from the MAC, who was a starter in the MAC and a productive starter in the MAC, and he's on the depth chart as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of experienced depth in this defense that not many people are really taking into consideration, in my opinion.
Hey, don't forget about Jake Sins, man. Probably the coolest name. Jake Sins. Yeah, man. These guys are gonna be flying. They're gonna be flying all over the field. I like that Cody Moon coming in there every once in a while just to headhunter. Okay. Now, from what was told to me, the defensive secondary is the strength of this team. So after everything we've said about the line and the linebackers, this defense is secondary. Now, of course, we're looking at the two corners. There is a free safety, a strong safety, and then there's a stud position, which is kind of taking the place of that Aztec label from the previous defense. Chris Johnson and Bryce Phillips on opposing corner spots. Chris Johnson, I know he's been with the program. He come into his junior year, big kid, really shows some good physical attributes, and it's cool to see him translating into this defense.
Yeah, Chris Johnson played well last year. He's kind of, everybody talked about, dang it, what's the other corner's name that left, dude? To
Malone.
Des Malone.
The Malone zone. Yeah.
You can cut that out if you want, but yeah, it's crazy that they can lose a guy like Des Malone, they can lose a guy like Dallas Branch, and still have like this kind of quality. Bryce Phillips we haven't seen play yet, but he's shown some flashes on his tape from his FCS days. So a guy like Chris Johnson being able to step in and Bryce Phillips with all his potential. I think the corner. I think that's probably the position I have the most question about on defense is corner. I feel solid with Chris Johnson. It's just Bryce Phillips I haven't seen play at this level yet. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, it's crazy that they can lose so many guys from that back five and still have the strength of the team.
Now at those other spots at the stud, you got Deshaun McEwen, of course, who is the transfer coming in from TCU. He played last year, but I didn't really get a good look on him. I wasn't focused on Deshaun last year.
Yeah, I think he was a Warrior last year, and maybe I think he's maybe a better fit for the stud or the Aztec, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So he's been getting rave reviews for his performance in the spring camp and in the off season. So I mean, to beat out a guy like Josh Hunter, who we all know is like a lockdown, he's locked in guy. He's not the most physically gifted because of his size. But in terms of knowing the defense and being a smart player on the field, Josh Hunter's probably the best on the team. For him to beat out a guy like Josh Hunter, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm excited to see what he can do. The coaches obviously really believe in him. He's the defensive representative for the Mountain West Media Days this week. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he maybe he was kind of out of position last year, playing one of those warrior spots, the free safety spots. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Now, how do you say Dalashon Staley? Is that how you say it?
I don't want to mess it up, man.
Forgive me if I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Dalashon Staley. And then you got Eric Butler over there at the strong safety spot, 6'1", 185, a junior who's working his way through, now at that junior year, and he's getting that front spot.
He's another guy that played well last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's, you got Butler and William Nemo, the transfer from UCLA, who played a lot at UCLA as the backup to Butler right now.
JD Coffey at that free safety spot as well.
Yeah, I believe he transferred from Texas last year.
Yep.
So yeah, there's again, it's a spot with a lot of talent and guys that have had a lot of playing time, and that's usually a good combination.
A lot of good size around the secondary. So yeah, man, I'm that's the strength of the defense from what I'm seeing. Hopefully that depth, what you're saying on the line and linebackers can show through, hold up. It's a grinding season in the Mountain West, as we all know. But a lot to be excited about, man. This defense, they're going to have to prove themselves, but everybody's going to have to prove themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is still a question mark. It's still the biggest question mark, in my opinion. Yeah, we're all excited. We know Coach Lewis will most likely get things rolling, but it's still a big question mark because it's a whole new offense. It's a whole new system. A lot of new players that have playing time at other places. But them coming together and getting the offense down, that's to me still the biggest question mark. I'm confident that it's going to get done, but I'm more worried about that side of the ball than the defense. I think the defense is going to come together. I like Coach Schmidt. I think he's shown a lot of things in his prior stops in Fresno State and Washington. So I'm excited, man. The more when this came out, I got super pumped that day, and the more I kind of look at it, I get even more pumped thinking about the start of the season.
Well, the start of the season is almost here, man. We're gonna have to really analyze the schedule the closer we get to it, and of course, bring some more interviews, as we did with Gabriel, the kicker.
Oh yeah,
a lot of fun to be had, a lot of tailgates to partake. But man, I'm pumped for this team. I mean, I think they've got a legit chance if some things go right for them. Right, you always need a little bit of those good fortunes. But for the team, man, it's gonna be a fun year more than anything. It's gonna be a fun brand of football.
So, what's going on? Are we gonna do a brew this year, dude? Is there a 2024 season brew in the works? What's going on?
I talked to Captain Eli the other weekend. And I said, we gotta make another beer, but it can't be a double IPA, dude. It cannot be a double IPA. Oh my God. That thing. Everybody was, having a great time, but boy, you can only have one of those.
Oh yeah. You felt those things, man. Holy moly.
You can only have one of those, man. Like the Ale Smith State Ale, to me is still such a perfect. It's a perfect tailgating brew, man. I mean, things are they taste great. They're light. They're crisp. But Sons of Monty, man, we'll have to see what Captain Eli can put together for us. and for all of you, make sure you guys stop by a tailgate this year. We'll be taking care of you guys and have a good time out there, man. I got the van, getting it detailed, getting some new additions to the van this year.
Oh yeah.
We'll have some fun, man. We'll have some fun. Not driving it up to the Bay Area, though. Not driving it up on any road.
No, that's a long drive for that old girl.
Not even to Vegas. I won't take you to the Vegas game either, man. It's too easy of a flight. I'm not driving that thing in the
No. Vegas isn't worth it driving, dude. It's so easy to fly from here.
I'll be sweating in that thing, driving it all through the desert. Like max AC barely hitting my face. Like
with your little 12-volt fans.
That's just to keep me looking fresh, man. Like otherwise I'm drenched driving that sucker. But it's a lot of fun to drive, dude. I broke the side mirror the other day on accident.
Oh man, come on, dude.
I was at the Swish League and I was like backing it up And like in every parkade, there's columns in covered parking garages. And I was so hungry trying to get. I was starving, and I'm backing it up, and it's all like,
Oh man,
ripped off my rear view mirror on the side.
What's wrong with you, dude?
Out of control.
You can't treat band like that, dude.
All right, I'm definitely putting the censored beep on that one.
The beep.
All right, James, let's wrap it up. That depth chart, something to study. It's gonna change, though. It's definitely gonna change.
Oh yeah,
too locked in. Everybody's fighting for position. It's gonna be fun fall camp. I might have to sneak over the fence with my binoculars and try to get a glimpse of some of these practices because they ain't letting me through there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. If I try to jump the fence, they're gonna tackle me like they did that Padre fan trying to get close to Manny Machado. And We'll see. Hopefully, we get some insight to practices. But I know they run a tight ship, man. Coach Lewis' first year, he's got to protect. He's got to protect what he's doing, so they can be victorious.
Oh man, he was in the lab that second half of the season last year, just cooking ideas since he was not responsible for play calling anymore. Man. He would just spent that whole time on Colorado's dime coming up with new stuff. So I'm excited to see what he busts out this year.
I imagine he's got one of those big 3-ring binders like Waterboy, the coach Henry Winkler.
Oh yeah.
Just cooking, just ready to cook something up.
Dude, it was funny. You're talking about favorite football movies with Gabriel.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say mine because it really ages me, bro.
Little Giants.
Hell no, dude. My favorite football movie of all time is Brian's Song, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah. I still get like misty when I watch that movie, dude. Freaking, what's James Caan was in it? Yeah, I love that movie, dude.
Well, time to start watching those, as soon as we get closer to the end of August. Start football movies.
College Football 25 comes out next week, man. I'm ready.
All right, we'll see.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to fit my Xbox in my suitcase so I can take it with me for my training.
When there's a will, there's a way, dude.
Oh, yeah.
There's a way. All right, James, thank you for your time, dude. Let's do it again.
Absolutely, man. It's always good to talk Aztec football, Aztec sports. So the season's right around the corner, man. We're getting closer. We're in July.
All right. Let's keep riding this momentum of enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah. Go Aztecs.
Sons of Montezuma.com. Go Aztecs. Peace, bro.
Later, bro.